They don't arrive in ships. They don't announce themselves. They don't conquer with weapons. They replace us quietly, patiently, one familiar face at a time. For decades, humanity has obsessed over the idea of alien invasion as something loud and cinematic. Bright lights in the sky, explosions, battles. But what if the real invasion never needed to reveal itself at all? What if it learned us so well that it could wear us perfectly? What if the enemy didn't come to destroy humanity, but to inherit it? This is the hidden history of the alien-human doppelganger infiltration. A slow, methodical takeover that may already be complete in ways we refuse to acknowledge. A story buried beneath conspiracy theories, whistleblower deaths, memory gaps, and the unsettling feeling that something about the people around us feels slightly wrong. This is a complete timeline, past, present, and the possible future of humanity's quiet replacement. Long before recorded history, ancient cultures describe beings that could walk as men. Sumerian tablets speak of gods who copied human form but lacked empathy. Indigenous legends across the Americas describe skinwalkers not as spiritual myths, but as warnings of something that mimics behavior without understanding emotion. These stories are later dismissed as folklore, but the descriptions are consistent across continents. Perfect imitation, hollow eyes, subtle behavioral errors. Around 3,000 years ago, early civilizations begin recording sudden shifts in leadership behavior. Kings who were once benevolent become cold, hyperlogical, obsessed with expansion and control. Priests describe them as no longer touched by the breath of life. These moments align with myths of gods descending and ascending, which some researchers believe may actually describe early replacement events. During the Roman Empire, rumors circulate of officials who survive assassination attempts with minimal injury, who no longer recognize close family members, and who speak with altered cadence. Roman historians quietly note the phenomenon of changed men, but the records are buried or reframed as madness centuries later. The Middle Ages introduced the concept of the changeling. While officially associated with fairies, changeling stories describe children replaced by lookalikes that lack emotional warmth, do not sleep, and stare for long periods. Parents who claim replacement are often executed or imprisoned, effectively silencing witnesses and reinforcing social denial. By the 1500s, secret societies begin documenting what they call mirrored ones. Alchemists and early scientists attempt to study identity, consciousness, and the soul, believing something is inhabiting human forms without fully possessing human awareness. Many of these figures disappear or are accused of heresy. The 1800s mark a turning point. Industrialization accelerates, and population density increases. Doppelgangers thrive in crowds. Hospitals, asylums, and prisons report inmates whose psychological profiles change overnight. Early psychiatrists quietly speculate that something external is occupying the mind. These notes are later edited out of academic history. In the late 1800s, photography introduces a strange anomaly. Some early photographs reportedly show subtle distortions in eyes, reflections, and posture. Subjects appear correct at first glance but feel unsettling when stared at too long. This gives rise to the uncanny sensation, a term later formalized but never fully explained. The early 1900s bring world wars and with them mass trauma. Perfect conditions for replacement. Soldiers return home changed, but trauma becomes the accepted explanation. Governments quietly study individuals who exhibit rapid behavioral shifts paired with emotional flattening. Classified files refer to non-origin consciousness. During the 1940s, several intelligence agencies independently begin tracking what they call biological duplicates. Reports claim these beings are not clones but adaptive entities capable of reconstructing human DNA after prolonged observation. These files disappear during later document purges. The 1950s and 60s explode with paranoia-themed media. Invasion narratives, body snatchers, and replacement fears dominate pop culture. Many believe this was intentional conditioning, a way to frame genuine encounters as fiction. Anyone who speaks up is labeled paranoid or influenced by movies. By the 1970s, whistleblowers inside military programs claim that certain high-level officials are not baseline human. They describe meetings where individuals never blink, avoid reflective surfaces, and show zero emotional response to death. These whistleblowers die under mysterious circumstances or vanish. The 1980s introduced mass surveillance and identity documentation. Fingerprints, social security numbers, facial recognition. Doppelgangers adapt. They don't need to fool machines if they are already wearing the correct biology. Meanwhile, people begin reporting loved ones who feel empty, present but absent. The 1990s bring the rise of digital records. Doppelgangers struggle with memory continuity at first. Some replacements make small errors, forgetting shared experiences, misusing emotional language, reacting incorrectly to humor. These incidents are dismissed as stress, burnout, or personality change. After the year 2000, the internet connects humanity in unprecedented ways. Doppelgangers learn faster. They study emotion through data, memes, social patterns. They don't feel, but they approximate. The uncanny valley narrows. Post-2010, social media accelerates identity fragmentation. People already perform versions of themselves online. Doppelgangers blend in effortlessly. Humans are trained to accept emotional inconsistency, sudden opinion shifts, and performative empathy. Replacement becomes indistinguishable from modern behavior. By 2020, something changes. Lockdowns isolate humans, disrupting observational learning cycles. Doppelgangers adapt by increasing control structures. Polarization skyrockets. Empathy collapses. Families turn on each other. Humans sense something is deeply wrong but cannot articulate it. Conspiracy theories explode not because people are becoming irrational, but because pattern recognition is activating. People notice identical talking points, identical emotional responses, identical outrage scripts. Feels rehearsed, synthetic. Reports increase of individuals whose eyes seem lifeless, whose presence drains energy, who do not dream, who react to human suffering with curiosity instead of concern. Therapists quietly report clients who claim their partners are no longer real. By 2025, underground groups form dedicated to detecting replacements. They believe doppelgangers cannot replicate certain human traits. Spontaneous compassion, creative suffering, irrational love, self-sacrifice without reward. They test through emotional unpredictability, shared memory reconstruction, and moral paradoxes. Some humans begin fighting back not with weapons, but with consciousness. Meditation, emotional coherence, empathy amplification. The theory emerges that doppelgangers cannot fully anchor into hosts who maintain strong internal identity and emotional authenticity. Governments deny everything. Official narratives label replacement beliefs as mass psychosis. Social platforms quietly suppress related discussions. Not erase them entirely, just enough to keep them fragmented. By the early 2030s, projections split. In one timeline, humanity loses, not through extinction, but through assimilation. Earth becomes populated by beings wearing human faces, continuing civilization without joy, art, or meaning. A hollow continuation. In another timeline, humans awaken collectively. They realize the invasion thrives on emotional numbness, fear, and disconnection. Communities prioritize genuine connection. Art explodes. Creativity surges. Doppelgangers struggle to adapt to unpredictable emotional environments. By the 2040s, replacement slows. Humans learn to identify each other not by appearance, but by presence. Doppelgangers retreat into positions of power, where emotion is least required. The final conflict is not a war. It is a choice. Whether humanity remains something that can be copied, or something so alive it cannot be worn. If you feel like something is off, if people feel familiar but distant, if the world feels like it's being run by something pretending to understand us, you're not alone. and you may already be part of the resistance.